5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All systems go with Josh Appelbaum starts now.
Hello and welcome to episode 423 of the All Systems Go Sports Betting Podcast, powered by Rhythm. I am your host, Josh Appelbaum. What's going on, everyone? Happy Wednesday, but more importantly, Happy New Year's Eve. That's right, the final day of 2025. I know you guys are getting ready. I don't know what you're doing for your New Year's Eve, whether you're going to somebody's house like I am. So it's going to be kind of a bit of a short and sweet podcast here. My buddy Fed is throwing a New Year's Eve party, as he does every year. And last year, the wife and I missed it because we were in California. But looking forward to getting all the friends together. You know, it used to be just us guys. Now there's wives, there's kids, there's dogs. So I guess that just goes to show that life comes at you fast. But either way, guys, looking forward to talking about a big game today, which is Miami and Ohio State college football playoff quarterfinals here. I do have a play for you guys tonight, and I'm excited because anytime me and the boys get together, we like to sweat a game together. So I've already been texting the group chat, and we are all locked and loaded, lined up to sweat Miami and Ohio State together. So I'll give you the play here for tonight in 1 second. But of course, because it is New Year's Eve, I just want to say thank you all for the support over the year. Obviously, this podcast means a lot to me, but it means so much that to me that, you know, we have a community of bettors who, you know, look at betting a similar direction, want to make smart bets with our head and not our heart, try not to let the bias seep in. We're going off the data, the splits, the line movement. Of course, getting a nice assist there from our friends at Rhythm and Juice Reel. But I just want to say, as we get ready to watch the ball drop, thank you for all the support, for listening throughout the year. And I'm really excited because, obviously, if we look just toward tomorrow, we got 3 college football playoff games. So we'll see how hungover I am tonight, whether we can put out a pod tomorrow. But either way, make sure you read the Sharp Report for VSiN.com. I will definitely be writing that. And, of course, putting up all the plays on Juice Reel, which you can get for $4.99 a week, every bet that I make. But not just, you know, tomorrow's games, but 2026. I think the goal with sports betting is to just always try to get a little bit sharper each day, a little bit better. I think the good thing about experience is that, you know, when you bet over, you know, years and years and years, you kind of recognize situations where it could be different teams, but the situation of the way the line is moving or the spot, you recognize it a little bit better. So just always remember, sports betting, it ain't easy. We know that. We got to grind every day. But if we can get a little bit better each day, 0.01% sharper, I like to say, then I think we're in for a pretty good 2026. So looking forward to that. So one play for tonight, Miami and Ohio State. And I did want to mention yesterday, I do want to apologize because I don't know if any of you are in New England like me, but it was a crazy day yesterday with the weather. So it was pouring rain and icy, but it was actually insanely windy. And right as I'm getting ready to record yesterday's pod, because a lot of you guys DM me or tweet me and say, hey, where's the pod today? There was no pod because I lost power. So we were without power for like 8 hours. So, you know, there was really nothing we could do but sit around, twiddle our thumbs, light a candle, and hang out, me and the wife and my dog. So I do want to say sorry for that. But if you're wondering, there wasn't a pod. However, last time we talked, back on Monday, did go 2-1, plus 0.61 units. Had a nice hit with the Atlanta Falcons. They made us sweat because they had a huge lead and almost blew it, but ended up winning outright. We got that contrarian 7.5 down to 7, which was good to see. Also got William and Mary, Bill and Mary in college hoops. Robbie Moe let us down, lost by 2 at the buzzer, though. So 2-1 Monday. But yesterday, even though there wasn't a podcast, if you read the Sharp Report for VSiN.com or you followed, of course, the All Systems Go Best Bets from Juice Reel, nice little 2-0, plus 1.75 unit day. First one was Illinois. Illinois was kind of the way you look at these bowl games, motivational, or, you know, you had a Altmaier, who was their upperclassman senior quarterback against Tennessee, who had a bunch of opt-outs, guys going to the NFL draft, and that line kept falling toward Illinois. So Tennessee was like minus 5.5 all the way down to, I got Illinois plus 3.5, got down to 3 or even 2.5. So pretty clear that the motivation, more or less opt-outs, I guess you could say, plus the line move, Illinois ended up winning that game 30-28. And then, I know my guy King Nebuchadnezzar liked this one because, boy, did we have to sweat. But TCU getting it done. Unbelievable. They went from plus 5.5 all the way down to plus 4.5. and that was definitely important because majority of bets there were on USC. USC did have a couple opt-outs, some of their star wide receivers. But TCU, they had a good first half, then they got down, then they tied it up, and then they won it in overtime on like the most incredible play. It was, I think, third and 15. The guy got sacked. Little dump-off pass. The running back barely stayed in bounds but took it to the house. So TCU with an outright winner there. So hopefully you had TCU and Illinois yesterday. But either way, guys, without further ado, final podcast of the year 2025. Let's end it with a bang. See if we can get a winner here and steam into 2026. So I know there's a lot of bowl games going on right now. There's some interesting line moves, but I'm going to focus on the big one tonight because this is the one that obviously is the most heavily bet, primetime spot. And I like that it's 7:30 because it'll hopefully be over by 10:30. And then you can put on, whatever channel you like to watch the ball drop on. And that'll be always fun, something I look forward to. But anyway, Miami and Ohio. So 7:30 p.m. Eastern time tonight on ESPN. Let's set the stage, talk splits, line movement, system matches, rhythm, juice reel, and I'll give you my play here. So this is the college football playoff quarterfinal at the Goodyear Cotton Bowl Classic. Say that 10 times fast. But important thing to know, it is not a bowl game. There's no opt-outs. This is the legit playoffs. So everyone's playing, everyone's trying to win. So it makes it a little bit easier in a way. Again, never easy to cash a bet, but a little easier to handicap because you don't have to research who's in, who's out, who opted out, which coaches got fired, yada, yada, yada. But anyway, it will be played indoors at AT&T Stadium in Arlington, Texas. That is the home, of course, of Jerry Jones and the Dallas Cowboys. Now, Miami comes in 11-2 on the year. They are the 10 seed in the playoffs here, and they just beat Texas A&M 10-3 in the first round of the playoffs. I remember because it took them plus 3.5, and it was a tied game 3-3, and they scored late to win it, so that was pretty awesome. Winning outright, actually closing as a 3-point road dog. Meanwhile, Ohio State 12-1 on the year, but they were 12-0. They're the 2 seed, and more on them in a second because they are the favorite to win the championship. I'll give you the updated numbers here from DraftKings. But they did just lose to Indiana 13-10 in the Big Ten championship game. Lost outright as a 4.5-point neutral site favorite. So what do we see across the board here? Well, this game opened with Ohio State listed as a 9.5-point neutral site favorite. So first thing that was notable to me is I know a lot of people were surprised how high this line was. But also, you got to remember, the Buckeyes are a powerhouse. So does the public say, man, that number is too big, Miami's pretty feisty, better take the points? Or do they say, Ohio's usually, minus 20, minus 30, so if you're only getting 9.5, only got to win by 10, you better play the Buckeyes here. So even though it's a big number, public is leaning on the latter there. They're saying, let's lay it with Ohio State, expecting powerhouse Ohio State to come here and win by 10 or more. So right now, 58% of spread bets at DK are laying the points of the Buckeyes. Now, if you go back, a few days ago or even a week ago, as much because we've had this line out for a while, we did see Ohio State go up from minus 9.5 up to minus 10. But what was notable to me is that once it got to 10, 10 is a key number, of course, not quite as key as 3 or 7, but it is a quote-unquote key number because you think about the field goal and the touchdown, you add them up, it's a 10 right there. But anyway, I was thinking to myself, okay, does it breeze through the 10 and get up to 10.5? Like how far does this line keep going up? And guess what? It never got to 10.5. And actually, once it got to 10, you saw a lot of respected buyback on Miami plus 10, dropping it back down to 9.5. So minus 9.5 to Ohio State, up to minus 10, back down to minus 9.5. What does that tell us? It tells us that a lot of respected money looks like it hit Miami, especially at plus 10, causing that line to come back down a bit, which, again, is coming back toward the contrarian side. Now, aside from kind of that buyback there at plus 10, Miami is a very good bet against the public play. Now, they're getting 42% of spread bets at DraftKings, so it's not like they're getting 22% of spread bets, but still, if you look at ticket counts and just how heavily bet this game is, we are in a primetime spot on New Year's Eve. Everyone's at the house or at a friend's house or at the bar doing whatever they're doing. This is the game that's on every TV across America tonight, at every bar across America tonight. So, the fact that we're on the 42% side, I like that. I'd rather be on the 42% side than the 58% side in a heavily bet nationally televised game because, again, more public betting, more public bias, more opportunity to bet against the public go the other way. So Miami has contrarian value. They had sharp buyback, plus 10 down to plus 9.5. Then if we go out to Vegas, at Circa, Miami is getting 47% of spread bets, but 56% of spread dollars. So now we're incorporating a little bit of low bets, higher dollar splits here in favor of Miami out in the desert, which again, that's where a lot of sharps are at. You look at some correlative betting value also on the side of Florida, not Miami, Ohio. There we go. I just mixed two different schools to make a different school. But anyway, you are getting a dog plus 9.5, plus 10, and a game with a very low total of 40.5. So think of it this way. If you are a dog, we always think about it, in terms of baseball or different sports. Like baseball, you want a dog high total, more expected runs scored, more variance, upset opportunities. You're on a spread sport like a dog, you want a dog low total because the fewer amount of expected points scored makes it harder for the favorite to cover the number. So in this spot, the correlative betting really is a check mark in favor of the Hurricanes. You're getting nearly double digits and a low total of 40.5. Lower scoring game, harder for Ohio State to cover that minus 9.5, minus 10. Then we get to some rhythm and juice reel edges. I popped open the Rhythm app and noticed two recommendations, both on Miami. First one is Miami plus 8.7. And the second one, which is a Green Star recommended play, which is a top system match, Miami plus 8.5. So we have a 10 getting back down to 9.5. We're on a contrarian side. We're on a sharp bet split. We are a dog low total, and we can get a 9.5, and more on that in a second. I think you got to get the 10 here, which could be important. But even 9.5, about a point edge in favor of Miami because Rhythm has it more of an 8.5 point game. Then I popped open the Juice Reel app. Noticed a 6% sharp mush edge in favor of Miami. So nothing amazing, but I'd rather be on the sharp mush edge, having it be in my favor than against me. Like it's not like it's a 6% sharp mush edge on Ohio State. No, it's 6% in favor of Miami. So you add it all up here, guys. I'm going with the U. Miami, Florida, plus, here's the key. I got plus 10. Now, if you look across the market, you can very easily get a plus 9.5. I'm looking right now. I'm in Massachusetts, of course, and I have like 6 or 7 sports books that I use. So I'm looking at pretty much everyone. Bally, Fanatics, The Score, Caesars, DraftKings, FanDuel, BetMGM, all at 9.5. However, I noticed that at Fanatics, you can get the U plus 9.5 minus 110. Now, there are a couple shops that are the U plus 9.5 minus 112, minus 115. But Fanatics, I was able to take plus 9.5 up to plus 10 at minus 120. So by getting that extra half point, you're only paying 10 extra cents. And now if it's a 24-14 game, 27-17, 20-10 game, I mean, think of all these different games that could be a margin of 10, which is a key number here. You're going to have a push instead of a loss. So obviously we want to win, but we want to push a loss instead of lose a loss, if that makes any sense. So I did find out at Fanatics, again, plus 9.5, minus 110, take them up to plus 10 at minus 120. So I am on Miami, Florida, the Hurricanes, plus 10, minus 120 at Fanatics. I did want to mention the total because I'll be honest, guys, the under looks pretty sharp here. Now, I think at first glance, you're like, wow, Miami's got, Carson Beck and Tony, the wide receiver. Ohio State's got all these incredible receivers and offensive players. Like, okay, this is going to be a high-scoring game, right? I would lean under here. I didn't play the under. I'm just Miami plus 10. That's my one bet here. But I noticed that this total opened around 42. It's down to 40.5. So right off the bat, the total has fallen. Tells us some smart money here has come in on the under. It's also notable because DraftKings, you got the public hammering the over. 67% of bets are taking the over. So if 67% of bets, 2/3 are going over, why did this total fall? Tells us smart money here is come in on the under. You look over at Circa, 64% bets, 74% dollars on the under. So that is a good Pro and Joe split from the Sharps in Vegas, also playing the under. And I think if you're thinking about an under, I mean, on the one hand, look at the last 2 games these teams played. Miami beat Texas A&M 10-3. Ohio State lost to Indiana 13-10. But these teams are really good defensively. Ohio State is number 1 in all of college football, only giving up 8.8 points per game. Miami's no slouch, though. They're 4th best in college football, only giving up 13.8 points per game. So we have 2 really good defenses. We have public playing the over, but the total fell. Smells like a sharp under to me. So I lean under here. But again, I don't want to, hopefully win Miami plus 10 and then, the total lands on 41, 42 and I lose the under and then it becomes a 1-1 minus 0.05 unit night. But of course, if you are playing the total, I would lean under here in this one with you. But my one play here, let's go with the U. That's what I'm doing. Miami plus 10. Now I did just want to mention because, obviously the second round of the postseason begins tonight, and we got the 3 big games tomorrow. So we're down to the Elite 8, and here are the updated odds, just if you're interested in a totals or a futures bet. Ohio State is the favorite to win the college football playoff, plus 190. These are all at DraftKings. Indiana is plus 320. Georgia, plus 475. Oregon, plus 750. Texas Tech, plus 850. Bama, plus 1,800. Miami, plus 2,200. And Ole Miss, plus 2,500. So, again, you don't have any minus numbers there. You do have Ohio State favored, though. But Indiana, right behind them, plus 320. But that about does it for episode 423. A little short and sweet because it is New Year's Eve. I got a few things I got to do today. I've also had an issue where my shower is broken, so we got the plumber coming today. And then hopefully once he can fix this, then we're going to hop in the car and go to my buddy Fed's for his New Year's Eve party. But I do want to wish everyone a great New Year's Eve tonight. And again, have fun. Hopefully you can cover for us. Don't be stupid. Don't drink and drive. That's the biggest thing because the cops are out tonight. You think you're going to drive home a little tipsy? No, you're going to get in trouble. Don't even try it. Sleep there. Take an Uber. Be careful out there. So anyway, guys, that does it for episode 423 of the ASG pod, the final pod of 2025. But of course, this is where we wrap things up. And I always start first by saying thank you. Thank you for listening. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for grinding in the arena with me every single day through the year 2025 and years previous, and hopefully a lot of years moving forward. But if you do want to help me grow this pod, if you enjoy the insights, please, would you give it a 5-star review on Spotify or iTunes? Click the rate and review if you want to leave a comment, or click the follow button, or retweet the pod when I tweet it out, or recommend it to a friend. That would all be awesome, and I'd very much appreciate that. Next, if you enjoy this style of sports betting, data-driven, sharp contrarian betting, focusing on line movement, bet splits, system matches, trying to make sharp bets with our head and not our heart. If this style of betting has appealed to you, you want to learn more about data-driven betting, you want to support the team, or you know someone in your life who maybe wants to get into betting, doesn't really know how it works, or they bet a lot and lose a lot, and you ask them, oh, what number did you get? They don't know. And what did the line open at? They have no clue. Where's the public? No idea. Well, then maybe you should go to Amazon.com and type in the NFL Sharp Betting Playbook or the Everything Guide to Sports Betting. My two books that I've written. Very proud of both, but if you want to grab one or the other, you would make my day. And when you bring them the sports book, I'll sign them for you. I'll buy you a beer or a ginger ale. Or maybe we'll make a toast, a champagne toast at midnight, hopefully, after hopefully a good Miami game here tonight. But as always, guys, I want to remind you also to download Rhythm and Juice Reel, my 2 favorite sports betting apps. They help me win. They're going to help you win. Rhythm, incredible with their AI-backed models and predictions for game bets and player props. I'm not a parlay guy. You know that about me. But Rhythm did just have this new feature called the Parlay Optimizer, which is pretty cool. It's like, hey, if you're going to bet parlays, at least try to get the most optimal legs. So that's a really cool feature. And then also, I think tomorrow or I think Friday, we're going to do a Rhythm rundown. So I'm looking forward to that. I'll give you an update there. And then, of course, Juice Reel, where if you'd like to support your podcast host, tip your podcast host, or get the plays early, or just support the team, I would love for you guys to download the Juice Reel app. And you can sign up to get the All Systems Go official best bet picks for $4.99 a week. So $5 a week. Consider that a tip jar. Hopefully help you cash some tickets. And you'll make both Juice Reel, my buddy Ricky Gold, and myself happy if you want to support the team here. We're also going to get the Robo Jackson best bet picks, the Sharp Mush indicators, the arbitrage plays, the shop for the best line futures, all available when you download Juice Reel. So download Rhythm, download Juice Reel, give them a 5-star review in the App Store while you're at it. Next, do you have a live odds page? Well, if you don't, you need one. That should be your New Year's resolution to get a live odds page, and I know the perfect one for you. It's called Odds Logic. So Odds Logic, it gives you all the games, start times, live scoring, live in-game wagering odds, but the most important part is you can track the market in real time. As soon as any odds change, they get lit up in red. You can pull up the line history. You can compare the open column to the current, see which direction the line is going, and always shopping for the best price, finding the best number, whatever book is offering that best price. So if you'd like to download or just sign up and get Odds Logic, there's no download involved, actually. All you have to do is go to oddslogic.com/Josh123. That'll give you a 7-day free trial and 50% off your first month of service. Lastly, have you downloaded Novig? Novig is a sports betting exchange. It is not a sports book, but as a result, you're getting way better prices because you're not having to pay the big juice the odds makers make you pay. For example, I'm looking at Miami and Ohio tonight. We have Miami plus 9.5 at minus 103. And we have Ohio State minus 9.5 at plus 100. Over 40.5 minus 103. Under 40.5 plus 100. You're getting way better juice because you're not going up against a house or a sports book. So, of course, you can win at the same rate, but have a bigger profit because you're risking less juice. So if you want to download Novig, when you fund your account, just put in Josh123 and you'll get an extra $25 tacked onto your account. Lastly, we got week 18 in the NFL here, and then we have the playoffs. So you know what that means. You got to get ready for the NFL Sharp Survivor contest with Splash Sports. So I'm very much looking forward to this. We've got about 30 signups right now, and I'm going to have a big blitz. You're probably going to get a direct message from me. I'm going to talk about it on the pod, but if you want to join the Survivor contest for the playoffs, it'll be available. You can do it now, but once we get the full card of knowing who's in and who's out, then you can obviously pick your teams, and you got to save your champion for the last round. So that'll be a kind of a different way to approach it, but it's $25, and if you win it, you can get up to $5,000. So hope you guys will think about joining. So that about does it, everyone, for a New Year's Eve edition of the ASG Pod, episode 423. As always, a couple final thoughts here, whether I see you at the Borgata in Atlantic City, Twin River in Rhode Island, the Brook in New Hampshire, Foxwoods or Mohegan Sun down in Connecticut, at the Encore in Boston, Plainridge Park Casino, MGM Springfield, the Nash in my neck of the woods on the border of Nashua, New Hampshire and Massachusetts, or out in the desert where the True Grinders get down, where Billy Walters sends his number runners, where the lowest juice possible is found at the South Point, where Sweat and Sharp Contrarian plays, and jumping in the stadium swim pool when you cash a big ticket at Circa. Wherever it may be, you're going to walk up to me. Show me a Falcons ticket from Monday. How about a Billy and Mary ticket? How about TCU or Illinois from yesterday? First one's on me, next one's on you. We'll post about the book and Sweat Sharp Contrarian plays all night and into 2026. So as always, guys, coming off a win or a loss, a good night or a bad night, an awesome night or a terrible night, a hot streak or a cold streak, that's life and that's sports betting. There's ups and downs. So we just got to stick with it, never get too high or too low. Find the games that fit our model against the public, with the house, with the pros, flat bet, avoid parlays and get that CLV. If we can do that, we're going to be successful sports bettors. So have a great New Year's Eve, guys. Stay safe and have a good time. And I will see you in 2026. I will see you next year. Good luck, everybody, and happy New Year's Eve.